So to create my pattern from the drape, I'm going to be using this dotted or numbered paper, and I'm gonna link where I got it from in my description box, but you can use this type of paper or you can use brown paper. I like to use this kind of paper because the dots and the numbers give me a good alignment for when I place my drape patterns onto this type of paper. But if you don't have this kind, that's cool. Just use regular brown paper from the dollar store. So I'm taking out the pins. This is my drape, and I'm removing the pins from all of the seams, and you can press it out before placing it on the paper. It's up to you, but I do suggest that you give it a little press so that it could be more accurate. So now I'm going to pin the drape onto the pattern paper to put it in place so it doesn't move, or you can place something right in the middle, but for more security I just place a few pins around it. I'm going to be taking my tracing wheel and I'm going to be going around this pattern piece, and I'm going to apply some pressure as I go. Now this is the inside of the pattern. The dashed lines are the seam allowances. So I'm just gonna trace the inside, and then afterwards I'll go back in and put in my seam allowance, but I just want to get the shape of this pattern first. And you kind of want to go over it a couple of times just in case. I just go back and forth like that, and make sure you get as close as possible to the lines that you've drew in. And then what I'll do is with my pencil just draw in those dashes, and I'm just gonna go all around. And I like to use pencil just in case if I mess up or I have to erase something. I'm gonna be doing this for all 4 to 5 pieces to this bustier. And I want to say that if you don't have pattern paper like I have or brown paper, I would say the last resort would be newspaper, but that's like last minute, like emergency, like you don't have anything else. I would say use the newspaper, but listen, you should go with this type of paper that I have because it will help you so much in alignment and just accuracy. So now I'm going to remove the pins from this pattern piece, and I'm going to start tracing, and you can see the dots, the little holes that's in the paper, and that's from the tracing wheel. So I'm gonna get started using my straight ruler. I'm gonna start from the middle and draw that line in. And if you have a French ruler, that'll be good too for the curves and all that, but you can do it with a straight ruler too. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in those lines, and this is the French ruler, and it's really good for drawing in those curves and dips. So I'm going to continue to do this, making sure everything is as accurate as possible. It's very important, guys. Please make sure that your lines are close to perfect, I want to say. Alright, and for the waistline, like I always say, please make the waistline a bit curved. Do not do a straight line because that's not how our bodies is shaped when it comes to the waistline. So make sure you do a slight curve. So I'm gonna go all the way down, following those dotted holes. Going in with my French curve ruler again, And hey, if you don't have the French curve ruler, that's okay. Make do with what you got. I got this online for like $1 from some Chinese website. So don't make any excuses, like use what you have and get it done. So what I always like to do is write in the information of each pattern piece. So I'm writing Princess Seam Bustier, and I'm going to be writing what seam allowance I have on the circumference of this, or the perimeter of this pattern, and I'm putting side panel and also detailed information, and I like to put in the date also. So when I was done with all that, I then cut out the pattern paper. So I carefully cut all around. So now I'm on to the other portion of the back drape, and I'm doing the same exact thing, writing in the dashes and just making sure everything is straight. And I'm going in with my tracing wheel, and again I'm just repeatedly going back and forth to make sure that all the dots are there. Drawing the insides, or the actual size of the pattern, and all of my pieces are with a 1/2 inch, and I always do 1/2 inch. So this piece is the center back, and the other piece was the side panel, so I make sure I write that in, and I'm on to the next pattern piece, which is the front portion now, and again doing the same exact thing. So all my pattern pieces are ready, and if you see them curl up a bit, you can press them down, the paper patterns, once you're getting ready to place it on the fabric. But yeah, this is how it looks. And I also wrote down 4 of 4, 3 of 4, 2 of 4, 1 of 4, so I can just keep track of all the pieces and know how many there are for this pattern. And now what I'm gonna be doing is put some notches into these patterns as little indicators when I start sewing. So I just put 2 notches for the back portion of the bustier, and I'm gonna put 1 notch for the front portion. And it's always 2 notches for the back and 1 notch in the front, no matter what pattern it is. So I'm gonna put 1, and this is it, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be designing a beautiful evening gown. So I'll see you in the next video.